Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. In the last episode we rode the turtle and came here to the Great Bay Temple. And this episode we're going to be really exploring this temple, and I have views on this temple, and I'll be curious to see if those views are held up on a replaying, if they hold up in the 3D version, and if they are shared by you, the viewer, at large. 4 torches there, light them all up. You can run around using a Deku stick, but because I don't have any Deku sticks, because it's relatively early on still, well, I mean, it's this thing, you don't really get them anywhere really much outside the first area. But either way, the first of our stray fairies. So in this dungeon, they're a fetching lilac colour. With that, on we go.
Whoa, that's a huge water wheel! It looks like it's turning because of the sheer force of water coming through that pipe.
And indeed, this is, I was going to say one up, but this is the major mechanic of the Great Bay Temple, is water flow. And actually, this looks really pretty in the 3D version, I must say. It's got a kind of, what was the weird Buddhist underwater dungeon from Skyward Sword called? It's got that kind of feel. Ancient Cistern, that's it. I was going to call it the Buddhist toilet, and I wonder why. Then Ancient Cistern, makes sense. But yes, there's a fairy there, which is quite nice. But what I want to do is, there is a valve somewhere. There it is. So as you can imagine, Zora Link also features quite heavily in this, but our main goal for the entire thing is, it's all about redirecting water flow. Wow, that took a real long time. I guess I'll have put the speeder on. So with that one turned on, we get a little fountain going up and down. We'll deal with that in a second. For now, there we go. That was unnecessary, but oh! There is, where's the corner? There, nope, not there. This is going to be fun, because this is a disorientating dungeon, and it's good to see it remain so. I want to climb up. Right, I'll start straight away with my issue with this dungeon. I'm always fascinated when people say, oh, you know, the real shitty dungeon is the water temple in Ocarina of Time. No. There are 2 Zelda dungeons which are in the big main series 3D Zelda games, which are much harder. Oh, by the way, Skulltula comes down here, but if we kill him... Oh, balls. What the? They can pick up money? I legitimately never knew that. Anyway, we do actually, like, we could just ignore this guy and ignore the money, but we do actually want to kill him because upon his death, he gives us even, a 3rd stray fairy. But yes, oh dear. There are 2 temples in the main series 3D games, I think, which are much harder than the water temple. There is the Lakebed Temple in... What's it called? Oh. Wow, I went surprisingly far there. There's the Lakebed Temple in Twilight Princess, and there is the Great Bay Temple in Majora's Mask. I find this to be one of the hardest temples. Full stop. It's frustrating. There's a lot of stuff where it's not clear what you're supposed to be doing. Finding out what you are supposed to be doing was difficult. I say was because that may have all been fixed in the 3D version. I don't know. And I'm hoping to find out over the next episode or so. I can ignore these Skulltulas entirely. And so here is the yellow thing we turned on earlier, and it's a fountain of water which we can stand on, and occasionally then it goes whee and blasts us up. Certainly I feel like all these pipes are a lot more obvious in what's going on and what's flowing than was in the original version, which is encouraging. Anyway, now we enter the big central whirlpool chamber.
I get it. That huge water wheel is powering that thing.
So, this is the central chamber. We'll be back here quite a lot, but there's a few things we want to kind of gather for now. Over on that side, you'll notice there's a barrel kind of halfway up the wall, and I want to get round to that, which means riding the edges of this cog round, quickly hopping up here. We're gonna. There we go, we're okay. And then hop up. I think we could actually have just swum over here too, and we would have been fine, but I decided to do it the cool way, because that's the kind of person I am. If we break this... That was weird. We break this barrel, it has another stray fairy in. Wonderful. We are on 4 already. That's pretty good. Now, as you'll notice, yes, the water wheel is turning that cog. That cog is turning a paddle down there, which is causing a whirlpool to happen. And as you can imagine, if we jump in, you very much get pulled in the direction of that whirlpool. If we sink down a little bit, you'll notice there's a few entrances from here. There's that one, for example. There's another one down the bottom. And there's 2... Oh, that's a new thing. There are 2 that are covered in bars. They've made that a lot nicer. Because of the way we're rotating, we could swim into that one if we wanted, and we could do the same down with the one on the bottom. But with... Oh, no, I don't want to be through here. Oh, well, we're going through here, I guess. That's cool. I'm actually just going to try and reverse that entirely. because I don't want to be through here yet. But let's ignore entirely what those enemies are, and let's not focus at all on anything we're seeing or anything that's going on. Basically, there are a lot of potential exits from that central... Oh, balls. What the fuck? Is it? Actually, this is, I think, the way I want to come. Cool, I'll just have to remember there's something I need to do in the main chamber, and it's a stray fairy, and if I forget to do it, it'll fuck me off massively later on. But hey, we'll do this for now. So, what I want to do is ignore the skullfish, and come over here. Note there are these sparkly patches in the water. They will become relevant in the latter half of this episode and the beginning of next episode, but for now, we want to just get the fuck out of the water. And I think we actually, we want to de-fish ourselves, and there's a chest there. Nice thing about chests is you can grapple onto them with the hookshots, and get something useful to orientate ourselves. Indeed, this is the dungeon map. Very handy. If we have a look at it briefly, I'll actually do... What's it? I can't remember what button it is to... There we go, that's the one to switch the screens. If I bring up the map, we'll get an idea of how the dungeon works. There's very little on that level, very little on this level. The main level is this one. You'll see there's a lot of things connect in different ways. And there's a lot of one-way tubes. A lot of this dungeon is about water flow. And that's a whole thing. But we'll get around to that. Anyway, yes, there's a lot of RC navigation in this. And if you cock up, you end up in the wrong part of the dungeon. You'll notice there is a stray fairy under there. I'm going to put on, I haven't used it so far, but as ever, I will be putting on the Great Fairy's mask and have that down there for pretty much the entire dungeon because it's useful in a number of different places. Brilliant. Now we want to fish up again because we're done up here. There's a door over there, but we can neither get to it nor do anything with it. But note those red tubes connecting to it. That is all I will say. Down here we have, well, we would have a new enemy, but I killed them earlier because I thought I was going to come back here. There's an enemy called a Dexy Hand, which grabs you and throws you around. We will come across them again, don't you worry. But for now, this will gradually, eventually, those are the words I meant, not gently, if it's anything but gentle, bring us back to where we want to be. But for now, we've come across this enemy very briefly before. These are Biodeku Babbas. They're like attached to the underside of lily pads, and then you detach them and they weirdly shrink down, grow eyes, and become these weird like rabid freak monsters, which I think we're all very glad that these things have never really made a appearance in any Zelda game ever after this, and words cannot convey, ladies and gentlemen, quite how okay I am with that. Anyway, with them out of the way, we can surface up, and there's a door there where we want to go. But there's actually one more Biodeku Baba even. Oh, even Zora Link does the cool flips when you jump in between platforms. That's a nice little change they made from Ocarina of Time. I think we need to kill this last one then. He's going to charge me, isn't it? Come on, get my cutters back, cutters back, cutters back! There we go. Oh, don't run into the water. I'm happy here. And with him dead, yes, there we go. A chest appears, which is very nice. So, there's a lot of switching, much like in Snowhead. Well, when Goron Link featured a lot, obviously Zora Link features a lot in this temple. There, another stray fairy. We've got 6 already. That's actually almost, we're getting close to half of them. The fairies are positioned very strangely in this dungeon. You get a lot very early on, then the middle of the dungeon you get like fuck all stray fairies, and then you get a lot at the end. Here again, there's a lot of things going on. There's some more Biobabas. That shouldn't have worked, but it did. I shot it with a fire arrow, which I really feel like shouldn't have worked underwater, but we'll deal with those later. There's also a real bomb chew over there, which I think we can kill with a hook shot. Just a slight hit should do it. Oh no! Okay. Wow, that was very loud. Sorry. Turns out hookshot doesn't kill them, but unsurprisingly, it brings it towards you at high speed. But we can grapple over to this chest and get right away. The compass. So we got the map and the compass within the first like 10 minutes of the dungeon, which is pretty good. Which tells you how shitty it is to navigate this place. Either way, down here you've got... Oh, there's another Dexy Hand. So Tackle says, it's a Dexy Hand. Just be careful. Look, it's not my fault if you get too close and it grabs you. Oh god, you fucking freaks. I hate their eyes. They're awful. Get the fuck away from me. Oh, and we don't have the benefit of my sweet gilded sword, obviously, when we're Zora Link. But these guys can be taken out quite safely from a distance with the double cutters, or the electric barrier is also really handy for it. Oh, no, I didn't mean to throw them again. Why is it even me sending arrows? Magic. Magic is nice. The electric barrier is real nice, and the more you can use it, the better. Anyway, this chest is useful because this gives us a key. Wonderful. Now, up here, I can't remember which side is best to be on this. crack these out of the way, there is a very specific shot I want to make. And I think you can see it well enough from here. Yeah, there's a pot down there. Oh. And when you smash the pot, it has a stray fairy in it who can suck towards us as well. There's also a 20 rupee down there, but I don't want to go down it for now, so... Actually, I do want to go down there for now, you know what? Because this is a current which will take us back to the main room. Even looking at the map in the bottom screen, it's not obvious that that's what's going to happen. But here we are, back in the main room. So you can see here, those two things there without the weird, like, don't say sphincter, filters on them are outputs only. So you get returned by those ones, but you can never enter them. That one here, obviously, because the way the water's going, we can't enter it. I spent a lot of time in this dungeon when I was a child trying to enter the wrong ones, not realizing you just can't with the water spinning this way, and at least they bar it off now to kind of make that less of a problem. If we try and work our way generally towards the middle of this room, you'll notice it's got this singular pot, which when we crack it in, which is really difficult to do... Oh my god. Basically, ideally what I would have done was shot this from the surface. There we go, and then you can just suck it towards you with the fairy's mask, but hey, cool, that works too. Right. With that done, we actually do want to head into that tunnel there. Even as you see when you're on the ground, we do still have to follow the current here. But with that, we should be able to head into the second one quite easily. Cool. Shell blades make an annoying return. It's impossible to beat if you aim for anything but this ligament inside the shell. And they're irritating, but I can fortunately have nothing to do with them and just fuck off up to the surface, he says. There we go. You have to press A to start swimming, then press A again to actually reach the surface. It is mildly irritating. But what we want to do here is go over to this door. Because you'll notice the door is locked. And, oh, there's a bloody real bomb due down there. Well, hopefully it won't be a problem. Cool, it wasn't. Excellent. This door is locked, but we have a small key. In we go. Now, here it gives us a bit of an, and I use this word very specifically, an antechamber. Antechamber meaning a chamber that comes before something. It's got a green choo-choo in that's got arrows. This green choo-choo over here has magic, and it's got an ass ton of pots. As you may not be surprised to know, ladies and gentlemen, there's something vaguely waiting for us through there. I'm going to heal up with everything it's going to give me, really. Bombs, arrows, all very handy. And I'm going to show off something we haven't shown off for ages. I don't think I've ever shown it off since we got it. If you press and hold B, you charge up magic in your sword. That bit there, when it goes orange, let go. Nice powerful attack. That we only got from completing Snowhead Temple. I just think I haven't shown it off yet. No reason why I'm specifically showing off to you now. None at all. Let's head into this room. But how strange. There's nothing in this room. It's that old Zelda trope. You're in a room, it locks itself, but there's nothing there. Obviously, if you've seen enough Zelda games, you would know. What you have to do is look up at the ceiling. So, introducing Wart. You can't even tackle him for now because he's surrounded in these globs. Hit him with a fire arrow, that's a nice way of doing it, and you'll dislodge a couple of the globs. Or you can use your spin attack very nicely. So you can do what's called a quick spin. You can press and hold B to charge a spin like that, or you can just quickly spin the control stick and press B and you'll fire off a quick spin. A lot of quick spins in quick succession will do a decent amount of damage to his eyeballs. And yes, in case you were wondering, this fight is a complete bloody mess. You shouldn't be able to see what you're doing here. If you can, you're probably doing something wrong. These quick spins are using my magic, but very little of it. He can't really hit you in this mode, so what I'm basically trying to do is just get rid of enough of them that we can actually get a window in to shoot at the man himself once his globules have gone. Right, let's pull back and see what we can see. There we go, right. When you got a chance, you want to hit him in the eyeball with a fire arrow. Oh, no, apparently that didn't work. Fun. Ugh. God, oh, there you go. We got to do it when his eyes open. And there it is. That did some damage to him. Nice. God. So, the eyeballs that he's covered in are a perfect chance for me to tell a story about what I'm currently drinking. So I got, for my recent birthday, I got this kit for, it calls itself like molecular gastronomy for gin. So it's like, you make your own posh fancy tonics. Ah, his eyeballs have gone now. So now it's just a case of he'll run around the room, and when you get a chance, hit him with a fire arrow. That's basically it. But yeah, it's like a molecular gastronomy kit for gin. So you make gin with fancy cocktail form, like gin and tonic in weird form. So it's got like, the one we tried to make tonight, for example, calls itself spherification. So the idea is you mix the tonic solution with some weird like chemicals, and when you add those chemicals together, it forms like, they call it caviar. It forms these like little caviar-like globules. What do you want, Navi? So, firstly, she's not called Navi, she's called Tal. Secondly, turns out when you set an alarm for 1:30 in the morning on the first night, she'll remind you of it every time you wipe. That's fun. But yeah, like, it forms these globules of liquid, which you can then, like, play around with by, like, suspending in a drink. Oh, balls! It didn't work, for whatever reason. I think the liquid I was trying to use had too much, like, acid in it, so it was just not effective. But it left, like, this load of, like, gin and tonic, well, like, tonic globule. And so I decided, spat the mic a bit there, I decided, like, oh, I'll drink that anyway, I'll mix it with gin, see what it's like. Turns out, tastes alright, but its texture is jelly-like. And it's... There we go. God, I was really wondering if she was completely trapped for a moment there. Oh! But yes, like, drinking it, it's a liquid, but it's got a kind of... There's no bits floating in it or anything, but it's got a solid taste, almost like you're drinking frog spawn or anything like that. It's strange, and it's made even worse by the fact the flavour of it is actually quite nice, but the texture is alarming. So if I occasionally, like, if I'm quiet for a moment, what it means is there was a bit of downtime in the game, I went for a drink, I forgot what I was drinking, and briefly gagged. There we go, got him right in the peeper there. And one more should do him. This is a... Yeah, this whole fight with water is a bit of a mess. Oh, at least we can tackle him now. Actually.
It's a wart. Once you've got rid of the spheres that seal the main body, you can attack the eye.
There we go. Oh, I'm trapped in the hate corner now. He seems to get caught in that corner with remarkable regularity. There we go. A couple of fire arrows to his eyeball. He's done. So, time to already get the dungeon item. There's a running theme that connects to the dungeon items in this game. First one, we got the bow. Second one, we got the fire arrows, here in the Great Bay Temple. We get the ice arrows, and much like the fire arrows, these were in Ocarina of Time, and much like the fire arrows, they're far more useful in this game. They do a lot more than they were just not weird optional extra that you got right at the end of Ocarina of Time, because you only get them by doing the bloody Gerudo training grounds. But in this game, and in this dungeon, they are quite useful, and also it's nice that you can just equip them as their own item, you don't have to, like, combine them with the bow, though it does it automatically and says, hey, the bow of ice, which is nice. That rhymes, so it's extra true. I'm going to just heal up again here, though I'm actually alright for health. It's magic I could do with, and one of these chews has got magic in it. You, give me that juice. There we go. Just because we do use ice arrows quite a lot, and it's nice to have full magic just to make that a bit easier. I'll wait for this chew to respawn. I'll wait for this chew to respawn. Well, might as well have a drink of frog spawn while I'm waiting. Oh, it's so alarming. I think that's why it didn't work, is I feel like it's mixed wrong. The liquid that's come out is like part liquid, part jelly, whereas it should be like all the same consistency, and then it globs up when it went into the other thing. Well, either way, if we come round to the side here, I'm going to ignore this real bomb chew. Well, doesn't matter. Time to learn some of the functions of ice arrows. Ice arrows can be used on anything that's sparkling, and you'll notice this Octorok, which are in every Zelda game except for they're not in Twilight Princess, are they? Because in Wind Waker they got the perfect attendance award in the figurine gallery for being in everything. But yes, that's not drop. All you have to do is deflect that rocket splits out back. Yes, if you want to kill it, but we don't want to kill it. We want to... Ooh! Glug, glug, glug. That would have been great if I'd hit it successfully. What we want to do is freeze it. Ice to see you. It's still good now. But now we can, of course, hop up, and there is another fish switch here. Time to activate the red water. And I know it looks a bit green, but that's just because things aren't rendering quite properly. And basically, yes, this is what I was saying when I said this dungeon is really all about connecting water flows. You've got 3 water pipes, yellow, red, and green, and you want to connect all of them, really, to make progress through the dungeon. And they are more obvious than they were in the original version, I'll certainly give them that. If we follow this one, it will... Oh, so it goes back through there, but we can't go back through there. That's how you would connect back to the first room, but that's not going to work. So where is the connection back? It's here. It's little things like this that I found irritating with this, is that it's all, like, one-way systems. And then obviously this connects back to the main room, but because of water flow, it connects in different ways. And boy, the textures are having a rough time at the moment. But either way, we've got the red turned on now, so you'll notice the red now connects to this part. We've been to this part, obviously, already, but now the red pipe is on, but that pipe coming towards us is off. Interesting. What can we do about it? If we head up to the surface, we'll see... now you can see red's going into that room, but red's not coming out. So there must be a valve in that room that we need to activate in order to proceed. So, I told you last time we were here that we couldn't get across there, and that was not a lie. That was entirely true at the time. We need to grapple back over to that chest, and you'll notice these sparkly patches on the water. If you shoot them with your ice arrows, they freeze and make yourself little ice platforms to move on. In the N64 version, you could just freeze any water at any time. Those ice patches are the only parts of water you can freeze on this, which is potentially bad because of lack of flexibility, but good because they tell you, they mean you can't fuck it up. They're like, no, you have to go there. Oh, this is a weird one.
It's a blue choo-choo. This doesn't have anything inside it, so it's really just a blob of water.
And you'll notice, again, it's sparkly. This has very much been dialed up in this game. This is telling you, this thing, you want to freeze. And you want to freeze it close to this platform, because then it makes it easier to hop up this platform and deal with the real bombshell. And then turn on your next fish switch and let the red water flow. I think this temple is a lot nicer when you know what you're doing. Like, trying to figure out this temple, much like I think in a lot of ways trying to figure out the water temple in Ocarina is nasty, because you're just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. When you know what you're doing, like I do at the moment, it's entertaining enough. But I'm fully admitting this can be shitty to newcomers. I'm trying to just fall down. There we go. It's not helped by the fact that, as I've discussed in other episodes, Zora Link handles like a huge pile of dicks, for want of a better phrase, quite frankly, and that does not help this, though you don't have to swim with him as much as I actually thought you did, which is cool. So the red pipe is now going into there, so we will join it upstairs. Come on. Rise, you little bastard. There we go. And then through here, time for another boss. No, because this is the room we've been in before. This is the room where we got the compass, over there. But you will notice, so first off, the red water comes in through there. It goes down under there. And technically we can follow it back to the other room, but we want to get something else while we're here. So I'm going to switch some things around. I'm going to slap the ice arrows on. You'll find out why. And I'm also going to slap the bunny hood on. This will, of course, de-Zora me, and I want to do that. You'll notice there is... why did I put the fire arrows on? I do need them in a bit, but for now, still need ice arrows, obviously, because I need to get across this damn thing. You will notice there are glittery spots on the water again, which, as ever, mean freezy-doo. And once we're up here, this is why I switched over to fire arrows, forgetting that I needed to obviously bloody get over here first, like a fool. Oh, okay, you can smash these things without even needing a fire arrow, but I used one on that because I thought it was going to go through and melt that door. Slap the bunny hood on, it makes this boss fight a lot easier. This is a mini-boss we've fought before, but this one's weirder. That's all I'll say. So, time for another gecko, and this time he has these weird blobs. And he'll chuck them at you occasionally. What you just need to do is get close to him and hit him. Now we have the Gilded Sword. I'm trying to use jump attacks quite a lot, because they're very handy. I need to... Nope, not fire arrows. Oh, he's gooed me. Oh no. The geckos are such weird boss fights. What we need to do is, when he's in that globule on the roof, we need to freeze him in place. Oh no! Oh, there we go. I think I got him. There we go. So he falls down, his globule cracks, and he fucks off over there. You can try and stab him at this point, and I should be able to. Whoop! There we go. And he's dead. Jump attacks with the Gilded Sword are very handy for that. You can shoot him, and it's technically easier, but it's much slower, certainly. It's easier, but you have to do it more times. So, he turns into a frog when he dies. We've seen this before with the one in Woodfall, but now we can interact with it. We put on Don Jiro's mask and then talk to him.
Ah, Don Jiro, it has been so long. What has brought you all of this way? Could it be you came all this way looking for me? Ah, you need not say a thing. Upon seeing your face, I understand. I see. But I heard it was still winter in the mountains. When spring comes, I shall definitely go to the mountains, so let us meet again.
And that starts a quest. Reunite the Frog Choir. We'll be dealing with that in a while, and this is something you have to do in one cycle, and I'm going to be doing it this cycle, but this is the most irritating of the frogs to find, because he's balls deep in Great Bay Temple. So, for now, I just want to activate him, and I'll deal with the rest of them later. It's nearly tomorrow. That's a confusing phrase, but true. But yes, we'll hold the episode there. We've come a fair way into Great Bay Temple. We've got the ice arrows, and we have now defeated the gecko, and we'll learn next episode. But you know what? Fuck it. We'll do that this episode. Why not? It feels very slow moving out the bunny hood. The bunny hood is obviously how I was able to close on him very quickly there. It's very useful for that. But yes, we now get a fancy chest for defeating him. And that contains the boss key. So we've already got the dungeon item and the boss key, but we've actually still got quite a lot of work. You'll notice for most of like the second half of this episode, we ain't got any stray fairies, and we've also got a lot of water redirecting to do. But that's for next episode, so I hope you'll join me then. Thank you very much, and good day.